good.
We're trying to match the statue, you know, but it all looks kind of uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It's a white marble.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You know, you can see it maybe from one of these windows. I don't know. It's in a large box that's right over here. You can see the base of this. The wood is all rotted on the box.
It's sitting here for a
Oh
while.
yeah, you can see here. That box
Oh,
there with the
okay.
ladder.
Right, right. Oh, yeah, that is pretty tall.
Jeez.
They thought they would maybe carry it over themselves, but I think it's a cool 3,000 pounds.
Whoa.
Now, that's why I said if we were more Amish, then maybe we could do it.
Yeah.
But we are lacking in the.
You know, 100 people together and lift it all at the same time.
So if you had 10 people, that's 300 pounds each. That's asking a lot.
Yeah.
300 pounds is,
That's a lot.
yeah. You know, just carrying an 80-pound bag of concrete, that's
It's backbreaking.
yeah.
I mean, they did a good job out there.
Yeah, so it's going to get moved over there Monday morning.
So the professional going to come out and move it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have a whole, at least 2-man crew
Right.
with the machines and yeah, I'm not gonna, I wish I could be here Monday to watch it, but I might be working, so I don't know.
Mm.
But yeah, then when I get off work, I can come by and see. But it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I can show you what the statue, because this statue there at some of the other centers have these same ones. So I found a picture of, see if I can find it. Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty sizable.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how tall he is. I don't think he's really all that tall, but
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
good. Looks good. Excelente.
You saw it this morning?
Huh?
You saw it this morning? This morning, did you see
Yeah, I
it?
looked at it now, yes. I think, yeah.
Did the concrete stain on it?
Okay, looks good.
Yeah. Trying to match the marble.
It looks good.
Starts at 10, right? Or some 4.
What? Paper towels? The bathrooms. The closets, the bathrooms. 2 bathrooms. There's no more? What happened?
I told Drupon earlier that it wasn't even on the thing that you never got from the one that bathroom you got.
So you look at both bathrooms, no paper towels. Okay. The other place, the bathroom in the sauna house,
The one on the
there's a
wall?
closet. No, there's a closet there. It should be.
There's none in there.
Clean down, okay? Okay.
What about just taking the one out of the llama bath and sticking it in there? Since the llama's over there.
Sure.
Are you looking for paper towels?
I just can't believe you went through that many paper towels. I guess
The laundry room?
Sometimes.
everybody's doing a lot of cleaning. That's a problem.
How many did you buy?
There was tons of them, but that was back months ago. I think Drupon, this thing we have at Drupon, special. This thing, when was that? What month was that? We've had very few visitors since then. Sorry. I'll look on the break. Maybe she doesn't know where to look. Maybe I get lucky.
I don't know, did they keep any in the storage over there? Probably not.
No, it's in the bathrooms. We put them all in the bathrooms.
Yeah, there's none in the bathroom.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Too much cleaning. Gotta stop.
Or some people, you know, they might, kind of like during COVID when they going crazy over toilet paper maybe. People are hoarding the.
Are you on?
Okay, good morning, everyone. In your prayer book, turn to page 1 and we'll begin. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. All sentient beings, limitless as the sky, take refuge in the glorious, kind Lama Vajradhara, the embodiment of the body, speech, mind, qualities, and activities of the Buddhas of the 10 directions and the 3 times, source of the 84,000 categories of the teaching and Lord of the Sanghas. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Idams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Sanje jumden de nam la jobsen je o dambe jo nam la jobsen Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Refuge of all sentient beings without exception, divine subjugator of terrifying Maras, together with their hosts of demons, the one who understands all realities without exception exactly as they are, transcendent conqueror, together with your disciples, please come here to this place.
And 해존된 고래제 낸데 예수 소알간 바댕 비베 드베 알로게 겐데 네베데
The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. Whatever merit I've gathered through prostrations, offering, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate.
Asanje Shenla Megde Puwa Yin Doga Namda Shende Jobai Sho Chanda Wada Choje Yabada Jesa Yara Gunshen Sowa Ye Gewa Junze Dage Jezaba Tamje Zobe Chanjo Jembo.
Okay, and then to page 11. Namo, to the Lama of utterly pure appearance and existence, I offer the fundamental ground of appearance and existence. I supplicate you to thoroughly liberate the 3 realms. Please grant your blessings and overturn the depths of samsara. Sublime Master, wish-fulfilling jewel, crown ornament, the inconceivable, inexpressible mind of the victorious ones, the one endowed with the 5 wisdoms of omniscience, gracious one, the embodiment of love, precious protector of beings, I supplicate you from within the essence of mind. Please grant your blessings from within the innate nature. Please bless me that I may realize the Dharmakaya that is beyond intellect, this primordially unborn, completely pure mind, transcendent conqueror, the one thus gone, foe destroyer of afflictive emotions, completely perfected Buddha, endowed with logic and virtue, the one gone to bliss, knower of the world, captain, tamer of beings, the unexcelled teacher of gods and men. I respectfully prostrate, completely touching my head to the stainless feet of the unequaled Shakya king. At the time of your birth, leader of 2-legged beings, taking 7 steps on this great earth, you proclaimed, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise even then, I prostrate. Possessing a body of complete purity, your sublime form is excellent. An ocean of primordial wisdom, you are like a golden mountain. The one whose renown is evident throughout the 3 worlds, protector of supreme attainment, to you I prostrate. To you who are endowed with the supreme marks, whose face is like an immaculate moon, to you the one with a complexion like gold, I prostrate. A flawless one such as you among the 3 levels of existence is most exquisite. Unparalleled omniscient one, to you I prostrate. Supreme among humans, captain of those to be tamed, the one thus gone who severs the all-binding fetters, who with senses pacified is utterly pacified and skilled in peace. To that one, the one who dwelled at Shravasti, I prostrate. Refuge endowed with great compassion, totally omniscient one who indicates the way, ground basis for oceans of merit and qualities, I prostrate to the one thus gone. The pure cause free from attachments, the virtue that liberates from the lower realms, the altogether supreme ultimate truth. To the pacifying Dharma I prostrate. Having been liberated, they also reveal the path to liberation. Thoroughly respectful of the three higher trainings, they are a field of sublime qualities. To the Sangha I also prostrate. And then back to page 9.
Namo Nase Namdai Ke Lama La Nase Shegen Choban Bang Kanzo Yonder De Sorvan De Korwa Dongzhoi Se Jianje Lo Jie Ye Ye Norba Zoge Jia Masawa Jome Jarve To Kimbe Ye Ye Ngadan De Zeve Dani Gade Jia Antrowa Jumze Rinpoche Dasem Nye Jengane Sorwa De Enjunye Jengande Jenje Lo Samdone Jime Namdane Alonde Chuga Dobar Jenje Lo Jon Dende Tijin Yeba Ada Jomba Yanda Bara Zobe Sanje Reba Dai Xiaozen Denba Devara Yeba Yekden Jemba Jiven Duva Kalo Jorwa Lana Meba Lada Me Namje Tandongba Nyame Shai Jie Jarboy Shao Jie De Tema Meba La O Rab De Do De Guve Chanza Lo Kanze Ganye Zo Jodan Se Asa Chen De La Gomba Dunwa Ne Ne Jiden De Na Choje Song De De Ke Ba Che La Chang Ze Lo Nam Da Gung An Cho De Su Song Wa Ye She Jiang Zo Zi Ye Lun Bon Da Da Ba Jie Den Song Na Lang Ye Wa An Gong Bo Chong Ye Jie La Chang Ze Lo Zen Jo Den Ba Chen Mian Da Wei Xie Sendo Andawa Jela Chanda Lo De Jude Saba Somnanze Nyame Jen Jen Jela Chanda Lo Menjon Dua Kalo Junze Jen Kunjora Jingwa Junze Dijen Ombo Jadan Ye Jalan Ke Nyo Shoba De La Changza Lo Gombo Tuje Chedan Ba
Tam Je
Jembe Domba Bo Sona Yonde Jiangzo Shen Ante Jin Ye La Changza Lo Tabe Do Jia Zhi Ju Ge Wei Gan Song Le Zhe Shen Jie De Tong Dan Jiu Jiu Xie Jiu Jiu Lai Chang Ze Lo Tuo Ne Tuo Wei Lao Yang Dong La Ba Da Lai Ra De Ke Xin Ke tamba yanden je egen de la yan chansa lo.
And onward to page 15. I prostrate to the youthful Manjusri, to those in the worlds of the 10 directions, however many there are, all the lions among humans who appeared during the 3 times, to all of them without exception, I pay homage with respectful body, speech, and mind. The force of my aspiration prayer for excellent conduct brings all the victorious ones directly to mind. Bowing down with bodies as numerous as atoms in the realms, I prostrate to all the victorious ones. In a single atom there are Buddhas as numerous as atoms, each residing in the midst of their sons and daughters. Like that, I imagine the whole Dharmatatu completely filled with victorious ones. To those with oceans of inexhaustible, praiseworthy qualities, sounds containing oceans of tones of melodic speech, I express the qualities of all the victorious ones. I praise all the Sugatas. With the finest flowers, the finest garlands, music, ointments, supreme parasols, supreme lamps, and the finest incense, I make offerings to the victorious ones. With the finest cloths, supreme scents, and fine powders equal to Mount Meru, all displayed in supreme and magnificent ways, I make offerings to those victorious ones. With vast and unsurpassable offerings, I venerate all the victorious ones. Through the power of faith and excellent conduct, I prostrate and offer to the victorious ones. Whatever negative actions I have performed with body, speech, and also mind, overpowered by desire, aggression, and stupidity, I confess each and every one of them. I rejoice in everyone's merit, the victorious ones of the 10 directions, the Bodhisattvas, the Pratyeka Buddhas, those in training, those beyond training, and all beings. I request the protectors, the lamps of the worlds of the 10 directions, who passing through the stages of awakening, attained Buddhahood beyond attachment, to turn the unsurpassable Dharma wheel. I supplicate with my palms joined together, those who intend to demonstrate nirvana, to remain for kalpas as numerous as atoms in the realms, for the welfare and happiness of all beings. I dedicate whatever slight virtue is accumulated through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and supplicating to enlightenment. And to page 14.
Om Baba Jambare June Jurba Jonzo Lo Jinye Soda Jojun Jedana Deson Yeba Meye Senge Kun Dage Malu Tada Tamje La Le Dang Aye Tangwe Chanje Wo Sambo Jube Molan Doda Ke
Yawa
Adam Je Yeje Ngoson De Henge Dunye Lura Dubai Jarwa Gunla Rabde Chanze Lo Duje Dena Dunye Sanje No Sanje Seje Wuna Yoba Tedara Chuje Yena Maluba Tamje Jarwa Dage Kawara Mo Tedaya Ngawa Meze Janzo No Nyanje Yanlai Janzo Dagunje Jarwa Gunje Yanten Rakjo Jen and Devara Yegwa Tamje Dage Do Medo Damba Tingwa Damba Dang nong dai ju be dong jo dong ma de me jo da du bo dong ba ye jar wa da da la ne jo ba ra je na za dong ba nong dai chen jo dong je ma ya bo me re ra nyang ba dong go ba je ba ra ba be chu gun je jar wa da da la ne chu ba ra je chu ba ka na la me ja che wa an da da jar wa ya tan je la yang mo song bo ju la de be do da ge gun la jiang zi ju ba je do jia je da de mo wang ge ne lu na ma ti je yi je jiang de ba da ge je ba jin je ba an te da dang je da ge so so ra ya cho je ja wa kun da sang je se nga rang ja nam da lo da me lo da do wa kun je so na kang la yang an te da kun je se da ye la kan na cho je je da ro ma da jiang jiao ren ba sang je ma cha ni gong bo de da ge tam je la ang ko la na me ba go wa ge yang yang da dong kan ye de da la do wa gun lai bin yin de we che ge wa yin ge lu ni xiu ba yang an da ge ti mo ra ja so wa je chang ze wa da chu jian ya ba dong je se ye ra ge xian so wa ye ge wa jung ze da ge je sa ba an tam je zo be chang chu jian bo ngo.
And page 16. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles and their combination according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Sam je nam je sam ba dang lo ye che da wa a che chon de mo de ba ye cho je ko lo de so so tam je do je cha je le san dong shen je me ta de je bong jong bo zhen je lung bo da wo le je we xa je je be xiao la ke chao ze de me wo ze to je jing ge le de mo de xie ye ngo che da wa tam je se bo kun chen chu je nhà mẹ đi cô đến chơi cứ cho thế ông mẹ cho chơi yang chơi bao đó từ từ trong sáng chơi gần chơi ngủ nhỉ trong sớm chơi cơ ngủ sớm đông thế tại vì là mẹ cho lo cứ cho thế con đó cho đông kinh chơi đó nó để cái lông mà cho qua con số đó thành được đông bé chơi cho bé ba Sen paran do wa dam jin de ye she na mo ya la ye ge dong lo dong do ji ge dum da da mi ge nam lo 와경제 다게제 dombo tamje gyudo dage juden do. Good morning. So today we have translator. So sometimes my English pretty good. So they maybe too good, and they don't understand. So maybe they are too high and too good. So very difficult to understand. So anyway, so tinta jatang tere da tsangme ke nga tso chu jatang ji chu toba chibi kap kandis goyo wa la sobetine da yore inada di hipte peche hugo samares tin karsena da mambo huge chu mambo nyambare ha kore tin ditine te hugo samares.
So, in general, there are teachings and instructions on how we should receive the Dharma, and elaborate explanations about the way and manner that we should, take the Dharma, motivations and so forth. However, all of you, in general, don't need this because you have already received many teachings and have familiarity with this. Should I say that again? Okay. Once again, in general, there are many instructions on how to receive the Dharma. However, all of you do not need these elaborate instructions because you have already, most of you have received the Dharma teachings many times, and you are already familiar with the mindset and so forth of how to receive Dharma instructions.
Tineda ngato ke cheshoje te karsena ta ngato ke jula tine jik thobar kawa tenjorji mulu Rinpoche thobare ta jik mulu thobaza mazibe ke tine tambe chu ta ngato nyaya yobe kokap ta tambe chu tenyang tine jik ngato tekpa chimbo ngata jeba songle tine jik janya yoba te tene ngato kewa sambore sonam chembore ti la ngato ke koji yimba la yimba heya ta tene ngato tiniji la ngato tiniji la do sampaji hakoya de ke chembore is.
So really here the most important thing is that when we are receiving the Dharma in our mind streams, we should reflect upon this opportunity that we have and this human life, this human body with all of its freedoms and advantages. And so we should recognize the preciousness of this opportunity that we have to receive and listen to the Dharma teachings. And not only are we able to receive the teachings of the great vehicle, the Mahayana, but in particular, we are able to receive the teachings of secret mantra. And so it really is a sign of incredible merit and virtue that we have. And so when we receive the Dharma, we should really reflect on the preciousness of this opportunity that we have.
Tieni ta tsamre ngato samguyoro ta jik ngato pakti shudan yimba tang ma yimba la koji chi so ndo jigla tene jurwan ro tep de jon ro tene ji yo mari ko ma ji kwan ro ji yo re tina yang ngone ji na la som no ji tang bi na je tang ngato ta so de suyin bi na yang ko dewan dong ye ji kwa re dongar men dong jing ji kwa re Tindri in the rate yin and yang, not so jig. Then chew nyamle, nambake chula, two, or co chala timbuki, co nyamlanching a kanza jimbina, co low tea top a jig down, Tagana yeke, co nazo carsegorda, mandu badi, co suk tegdo, cani yungdo, or tiniji hakugures. Tindita, jig. When a Yamlan Chinkan, my banda would you not in it? Some of the Injimari, just a Jatamba, Ina Yata, majority, Karchadi Lavina, then Jig Devada, do your Tinian, could Devik Jukandi in Bayan, could drop Hingi or Mari. Tagana Yeke, Jig. Ma that there's a day when a devan dog you na devatile chi yul zade ya roji so ji ya dunga roji chombina dungi te ya tini ji chi yul ya ji ka yak so roji chi yor da ke tindi chi bi na tini ko ji lam lokha sen dali yang ta nga chun do ba ta tini ji la len ni pu chin chi lo de ba de ta ben gu zong la me helo na la yo wa tene la change lobas oda tita tsamala sorry oda tindu tiniji chadi kanda ko deva yona devik jyoti yang ro ma hewa tene dungi yona dungi ki jyo pa ma hewa tiniji chadi tindu ngasoda tindi mayimba ngone lomamborin la ngaso tuyore chala tempo nyana chiyor ta choji di o nga tene ji to kwando ji je ma song sam gu yor dina wonne ten ta to ba ji yor ten ha ko gu yor lo wa o ten de tene te nga zo be za chen bo dang ji ta nga zo nor la gro wa nor ngone cha di da nor de ko di nor de ji kong de priya ji dang di nor de ji karse gore 가두이나야 초랑기 줄이 요되어지 이러와 주태야 되네 제완 더잠 많이 봐 되네 제마 치마야 고 컨티뉴에이션 요되어지 그래 단 직전베게 노르도 자침보다 리디나야 고 노르디 지 인조바 태업로야다 되네지 답박힌로야지 이거 말와 가히 주노라 때네 지 갈세 거래 단 내갑게 대원로 용쓰기리라야 가시지 지게 유노라 때네요 메세나요 고 강에더니 용로와 어다데 처음에 희그로와 어다데 디니 임베 줌센에 때네 나조다 지 갈세고래 무르된 토바텔라야 고 통단된 바지 차샤 삼바지 좋아 사람한테 계지 뭐 이사레스
So, in this way, all of us we're practicing, and it looks like we're practicing, and everybody who looks like they practice, kind of looks sort of similar, outwardly. Oh yeah, everybody's practicing here, but there is a difference in our inner minds when we are practicing. And so for everybody, whether or not they're sincerely practicing or not, everyone wants happiness and everyone wants to be free.
Thinley is a song do Karsanadi Tangato Bena, not Yamlan Chinkantan, Bena practitioner in Canton, practitioner Zana main can, number Maimba Senadita. Party chu nyamle majin kenji yorwa ti chili use amotana ngato namba ingen den ji chadi yore nyamle chingen ina den ji yore nyamle majin ken den ji yorsna ko chi subola ka yomarwa ka yomaris yina yang ka yomari ti yina yang ko nang sem ge tone tini pe chebar chimbo yore stati
So In general, the main difference that Drupon was talking about is the difference between Buddhist practitioners and people who don't practice. So everyone, outwardly looks similar. If we just look at a person, they, look like another person. However, for Buddhist practitioners, inwardly in their minds, there is a difference. And so for everyone, we all desire...
Inside is big different, I believe. Okay.
So, I think, in general, we all desire happiness and wish to be free from suffering. However, there is this big difference for Dharma practitioners. And so, when we practice the Dharma, then not only do we, desire happiness, wish to be free from suffering, but we contemplate, where, and how do we attain that happiness? How do we become free from that suffering? And so, for practitioners, we gain some understanding of that. However, for non-practitioners, they do not understand what brings about happiness. They don't understand what brings about suffering. And so...
Not 100%, but I think majority.
And so then some people, think, okay, well, if I desire happiness, I need this thing outside of myself. If I get that thing, then I will be happy. Likewise, when they think about what causes them trouble and suffering and problems, they think, oh, it came from there, and it came from there. And they think it comes from outside of themselves. And so, in this way, they make a mistake, and they don't understand that happiness and suffering ultimately come from within in our own actions. And so, as it is taught in Patrul Rinpoche's Words of My Perfect Teacher and so forth, there are instructions about how we should practice in this way without making mistakes of, mistaking where the source of happiness and suffering come from. And so, when we don't understand this, then we don't understand what brings about happiness, really. We don't understand what frees us from suffering. And so, likewise, some people who practice the Dharma, when we practice the Dharma, if we truly practice and really work to purify our minds, we will give rise to realization. However, when we give rise to realization and how that manifests in our mind stream can vary, and there can be different experiences on the path. And so, although we do continue to practice, when we continue to practice, we grow, and our realization slowly grows. How that manifests is there can be some variation. For some people, they practice a lot, and then it seems like they have more problems in their life. But this is the ripening of negative karma. This is the process of purification. Other people seem to practice and then everything goes well, and that could be great. But maybe the deeper stuff is they still have that to work on. And so realization is something that can take place not only in this life but in future lifetimes. And so we should understand that practice does have benefit. When we engage in virtue, there will be benefit. And when we practice the Dharma, we will gain realization. But whether we gain that full realization in this life or in future lifetimes and so forth, there can be some variation. So ultimately, though, when we understand that we have this opportunity with this life and this body, then we should practice in a sincere, meaningful way.
Tatirwa tindu ta jatanga to samotang binaya samlenga to tanga nangbanda wori yinayang ta nyamnyong tindi mi samba tindi yorwa yina yang ko changso nyamnyong yoares.
So the number, right? And it budget.
O changso da yatanga so da practitioner or practitioner. Riti na yang da something at otanga jig number nyamne chiyor thing I don't have realization, don't have experience. Some yoris. Natini maris. That you have the experience and the realization. Okay.
So, in general, we are all Dharma practitioners. We are all Buddhists. And so we might think to ourselves...
Yeah, sometimes.
we might think sometimes, although I might be like a Buddhist, I have no experience, I have no realization. But really, that's not the case. You do have experience, you do have realization.
That the realization the yin and yang koji tanata jig sanji compound top de atini mavina ko the realization chance you watela ko common compte peria tan tiga na ye ki tene tanda namba chi be kini nyamnyong ti karsina ko jig neka sende zamain ba tene jig ko jewa chima kanta jig samma jehwa de tene ti ke karsina chorang ke nyamnyong degi yores increasing chi yores.
So this realization that we have, it's not that we have attained complete Buddhahood. So you might not have attained complete Buddhahood. However, the more you practice, the more your experience and realization grows. And so, although it might not be fully realized at this moment, if you continue to practice, then this realization and experience will continue to grow, not only in this life, but in all future lifetimes until you attain complete Buddhahood.
Norsena, Nurbusena, that can that important. The Karcha the Yorsena, Tandat Chad Yores, Nyamyonti. Tin the Jetanga so you can be Norndo. You wina, then Taco Jig and Jigchina. I think Nekala this Copendo, you sigre, in a young Cotelia Tapa Kindo Jigton. Ko sanji komoto ya ke je chiriyo mares yina tanse tandanga so chimbu chuchea ke nyamnyong yobati te sanji komoto ya ke juchi do yores
Chimchu? Chimchu?
sanji komoto ya ke je
Right.
chigres cause of enlightenment
Ju. So, if we look at in this world, what a lot of people consider to be important is wealth and different types of kind of material possessions and so forth. However, these only have temporary benefit, and we cannot carry if we just amass wealth and different material things, we can't keep this until we attain enlightenment. We can't keep our wealth in future lifetimes. On the other hand, though, when we practice the Dharma, when we accumulate experience and so forth, this is something that we can take with us all the way into enlightenment. And so this cause of enlightenment and this virtue is something that amasses all the way to enlightenment itself.
Tene tiga na ye ki yang ta tandara nga son jiktendi na la yang ko jong mewa 뇽모 본 메와 텐디 제레베스나 텐디 마레스 종야 요레 뇽바야 요레스.
So, in the same way, when we are striving to practice, it's not that we are going to be able to immediately perfectly practice without any fault, without any mistakes, without any afflictive emotions.
어다 티인데 줌센 카르세나 가서 뇽모바 요베 줌센들 때네. 와 가서 미스테이크 치기 요베 줌센들 때네. 테네 다 가서 배나 초조도 용구요레 냠내 치기 요르와. 얘네 양 저랑 당보공을 퍼펙트로 차디요나 테네 용고야게 요 말에 거 가서 제치나 그 디퍼런트 램. 와 사전 디강라 배나 가서 코르베나를 유스기 말와. 얘네 가서 코르베나를 요고야게 줌센 테리티인데 다 가서 데 장미 하고 거래 가서 뇽모 뭐지 요발라 때네 코르베나는 요발라 때네 가서 초조라 용 라멘들을 추슈 라나소소고네 냠내 지역에 그 리즌 때 차도 요레스 티인데 티네 다티
So, it's actually our afflictive emotions, it's actually our mistakes, our suffering that brings us to the Dharma. If we didn't experience any flaws in cyclic existence, there would be no reason to practice and grow and become liberated from that. If we had no flaws, if we had no afflictive emotions, we wouldn't even be here. Cyclic existence is not a place for flawless beings. Flawless beings can't experience cyclic existence. They're in some pure realm. So the fact that we're even here in cyclic existence means that we have some afflictive emotions, we have some obscurations. And so with this experience, then we can seek to connect with the Dharma, to connect with Buddhism, to receive instructions from lamas. And with these instructions, then we can gain liberation. And so our afflictive emotions, our suffering, is what really drives us onto the path itself.
오래다 그 리즌들와 리즌데 가서 냠내 치기 요레스 리즌들라 가서 초초나라 용구 요레스 라마 땡기 요레스 다티 리즌 카르스나 가서 그줄라 뇽모바 요와 라와 오미스틱 요와 텔레텐 치기 요레스 다티 용네 지 베나 곰베나라 용 초초나라 용 냠내 치 달라메케지 가초나루 요나 텔레녜 테녜네 테네 당기기 individual 기고 지주라 뇽바 요테 테네 고지 칼레 다른바히는 테네 총으로 당야 지야데다 갈세고레 링겐더 세나리다 대차디오리스.
So, really, our afflictive emotions, our suffering and so forth, they are the very reason that drives us to practice. They are the reason that we come to find Buddhism, that we connect with the Sangha, that we rely on lamas and teachers. And so without that, we would not even have this drive. And then, once we connect with the teachings, the community, and so forth, and receive the Dharma instructions, then it's up to us to practice. And so, slowly, as we practice and apply these instructions in our minds, in our mind streams, in our own individual ways, we are able, when we practice successfully, then our afflictive emotions, they grow less and less. And so, in this way, we experience our individual progress.
어다 디니 트레인다 가서 예약해 되다 8월 침바 초 송바래다 8월 침바 초대 되네 지다 냠내 치야 베나 다 당봉고 주도 세나래 냠내 치야 돼 티임바래 되네 양 파르드 양 장접 스미기다 랍디아 세나래 양 대인발에 다 장저 쌤 지에서나 되네 상지기로 어다 대인도 되네 틴리 켈랍자티 차디요레스.
So, in this way, in the Dharma practice, there are what are known as the 6 paramitas, or we could say the 6 perfections. And the 6 perfections, on one hand, are part of the entry into Dharma practice. We can also look at them as being the 6 perfections, the 6 paramitas, are the trainings of the bodhisattvas. But we should also understand that once we have trained and realized the trainings of the bodhisattvas, then we are Buddhas. And so that is what we are dealing with here, with these 6 perfections.
어떻게 봐다 올해 배나 장년 선바디 어다 대하다 말안 되면 어다 대인도 이는 가서다 섬노 약보다는 삼례야 다 되고 대 바로 진바토 가리나라고 지 삼반라고 지 여러와 이 이는 야 초 현실 섬노 땅나 맞아 everyday 라와 맞아다 involved 차디요레스 배나 바로 진바토
So,
맞아 라라다르기요레스 치기요레스 배나 삼단 직템반라고 있는 직템나리나래 근데 주이나래 간다 디나랑 가서 치기요레스.
So, on one hand, too, then the 6 paramitas are part of the sublime practice of the bodhisattvas. On the other hand, though, too, then the 6 paramitas are also something that,
sort of relative level.
on a relative level, that people in the world engage in individual, some of these 6 paramitas just naturally in the world.
배나고 차샤 여러다 가서 지 몰라 로관로 치기요레 수도 수이나라와 지 배나가서 짐바라고 땅리요레 대가나 이게 지금 직단디게 나오는 것 같은데 지 초구도 지대 지내 오면도 삼바타 대 초구면도 삼바텔라 되면 저장 차대기로와.
So, for example, this can manifest when when people help each other, just by going around and helping someone else out. When people do this for each other, this is an act of generosity. This is embodying generosity. Likewise, when there are different types of rules and regulations that are designed to help people in society, and people follow those rules, then this is engaging in discipline.
근데 대가나 이게 다 가서 직템베 길레가 있나다 존두 좀고요래 존두 마토미나 레카데 통당 두고 말와 가서 갈레자비요다 존두세야 갈레자야 임바래 치기요레스 대가나 이게 다 가서 소바 공고요래 저랑서 소바 고면세기 유 마모 휴직 요레스 소바양 공고요레스.
So, furthermore, when we are engaged in our jobs and our careers, then we need to be diligent. And if we're not diligent, then we won't be successful in our jobs and our careers, and we won't accomplish our career and activity goals. And so just even for our worldly jobs, we need to have diligence. And then likewise, patience is something that we are all challenged with all the time when we go around in the world. There are opportunities to be patient in all sorts of directions and activities.
어다 대가나 이게 다 something 다 거네 지나 다 단다 직텐디 나라지 추 마인비 직텐데 속 나오나다 삼텐스야 돼 샘템보인 바래 직레카 직레나 디가나 샘템보 다 단단 가서 베네 차샤비나 직 제모쟁에서도와 보다 더 longon에 자네 고직 다 추쇼 말이 디나야 공소 레카텔라 샘세지 네트워크 열어 된데서 내 차리 요레스
So you would say the sports trouble?
야
Mhm.
or gymnastics
Oh. So then the fifth paramita is concentration. And so in this world, even if people aren't Dharma practitioners, we can observe people being very concentrated all the time. When their minds are stable, when they have this like clear mindset, aware of their goals, then they are embodying concentration. So, when people play sports, when they're engaged in gymnastics, you can witness this deep level of concentration. And when people are very concentrated, then they can perform at the highest level and so forth. And so this is concentration is witnessed in our world.
어디가 나기다 텔레양 헤랍이오래 헤랍이나 그 제모지 히그마와 벤나 짐나스틱 찍로 삼노다미나 그 직템베게 바로 집어도 계속 상토부요래스
And then there is, we could say, wisdom or maybe knowledge for the sixth, the paramitas. And having, in this case, maybe knowledge, if we use the example of gymnastics, to perform gymnastics at the highest level, you need to know the nature of gymnastics and have this knowledge. And so with that knowledge, then you can achieve the gymnastic goals. And so even within gymnastics itself, the 6 paramitas are all embodied.
다 드네촌 도 두리기비나 individually just one day la samotambina peche tenten chiranso samna yakbotana ji can be relative level ko ji partito santo grace.
So then, if we gather this all together and we think about our activities in one day, if we are really aware and we are really practicing, then we can include all the practices of the 6 paramitas all into one day of practice.
Okay, so individually, okay? So what do you think? This is like first the generosity. So just normal daily life. What do you think? What do you do? Just you did, but maybe you,
You smile at someone?
What?
You smile at someone or, tap them on the shoulder or,
You think this is you think generously?
yeah.
Okay.
Like you give them full attention, like really listen to someone.
Okay.
I think
I think the best example, maybe somebody cook and they give too. That still looks like real generosity. But that's okay. Okay, so then this,
And helping the old lady across the street, that's generosity.
of course, 100%, okay? And I'm not talking about really this civic dharma, but it's like, yeah, okay. Uh-huh. That's,
Oh, I think of just day-to-day things like cooking or cleaning or feeding the birds outside or
yeah, so actually we do, really, absolutely.
caring for others.
Mm. So then how is this more ethics? What do you do daily?
Work.
do happy work.
Go to work.
Don't
Do practice.
don't run red lights, don't speed.
Right, I said the specific like moral ethics. What they,
Moral ethics,
yeah,
like discipline.
discipline. So you think daily, okay, this is just not really far away, just your own thing where what looks like this moral ethics, you know.
Well, I'm late all the time, that's it. I think you just pointed out to me that there is some discipline. So that's something I, for example, need to work on a daily basis to be on time. That's what came to my mind.
I think ethics for me is, being honest, with myself and the people in my life, my clients, so.
Yeah, this daily, you know, so daily,
Precepts is to be honest.
yeah. And also like, yeah, this came more, I think you said this is the work, you know, you can keep the rules. Yeah, but it can be, you know, traffic light, so on, you know, so. And also this you can, oh, I need practice. If you're doing somebody practice, you know, so I did this is the morning session, you know, so that's just the more ethics. You can, okay, I have to practice this one, you know. So then, what is the sabarebe? No, this zonriro.
Then now
Patience.
diligence.
Oh, yeah,
Diligence.
diligence. So this, I think this really look up, but then we can look up a more involved Dharma side, 6 paramitas, you know. But look up at idea is what are you doing, you know. Look up. Normally, no pay attention, you know, just. But now it's kind of easy to study. It's the 6 paramitas, you know, so like. So sometimes we just separation, okay, this Dharma thing, you know. I just daily. It's just daily routine, it's just daily routine, just ordinary thing. And then, okay, now you like practice 6 paramitas, this, that looks far away, the higher, and the different, you know, stages not. So like, yeah, of course there is more stronger, more involved, you know, Dharma side, but also we daily, we have doing those things, so.
Taking refuge every day in the morning.
Yeah, that's just kind of like more ethic. So now it's, I think, I say this, what is the diligent?
Diligence.
Completing your tasks. A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
I think the difference between just diligence and joyful diligence, there's a bit of a difference. When you do something with joy and you put forth an effort, I think there's more reward.
Right, yeah, so this we can, later on, this joy, diligent is how we can this best one, you know. But also we have the diligent every day, you know. So diligent means you have to, even though you wake up morning, you know. If you know diligence, then maybe whole day you're sleeping. But not, right? So that's, I think, the small thing is, you know, so there you can diligent your practice or your recitation or how, so that the diligence involved everywhere. So then, so next one, what is your daily is patient, you know, how is the patient? What do you think?
I notice with the puppy every morning, not getting upset with him because he wants to be up at 5 in the morning and I want to sleep.
That's
A lot of
true.
patience, yes.
Doing it with my residents at work. That's patient.
Yeah, so this we do, you know, so how really authentic, but we're doing, you know, patience, you know, so, but also more lot of opportunities how to practice the patience, right? So, and then, what the consultation? Your daily, what do you do? Consultation.
Pay attention to what's in front of you, and you do it well.
Yeah, that's true.
Not looking at the phone
Hmm?
while working.
Yeah, I think you're really good concentration in your poem, so maybe very good. That's your another concentration, right? Maybe this how is
One website.
married. I'm not sure which way it goes, you know, right or left, but you're doing concentration in the Mostly the poems.
Meditation.
Yeah, of course, meditation practice, that's joking. So, okay, the wisdom, right? So, wisdom. What that day in the tongue as a parochimba toes here, that your tongue as a basic dochina, tinny, yours. Tiendita, that's how me hako, that your tongue parochimba toes, you do. 다 ngato nyamne chigi yore te yina yang ta paror de chimba siatela karla gorsena yang benna ngato da chi nyamne chia tela karla ta ngara samsu china paror chimba siate complete da woji rowa ina ngato jimba tang yore yina yang ko jimba tela yang cha chawan ro chana tene paror de chimba siaji chagi yosares benna cha sha ina ngato 사자 찍네 배나 사자 힘바지는 로든 고주도 그 바로 친요 말와 공고 쪽버리 이내야 그 타메게 그 데스티네이션 랩이나 되네 거다 랩으로 바기라 오다 된다 오지 당가서 8월 침바디 8월 침바 냠내 지고 타는 라인 봐 근데 지게 daily practice not daily practice like daily routine whatever they like day to thing ato nyamna chegi yodes yina yang ta te chiba chibu dek dewa chek tang ko pharo de chin yorse na chin yo mares
So, in this way, if we're talking about the basic six perfections, if we look at it and we're just talking about the activities like generosity, discipline, and so forth, these are things that everyone does or has the opportunity to do in the world. However, the word for paramita has kind of like a deeper meaning, and ultimately, when we engage in the full perfection or paramita of generosity, for example, in the context of the Dharma, it includes all the aspects of all the 6 perfections, all within that generosity. And so in that way, the perfection of that, the paramita, is complete. So in Tibetan, paramita is pao ro tu chimpa. And so it means to reach the other side of something, like literally like crossing a river. So they say perfection, but it has this connotation of like reaching the far side. And so when we engage in, for example, generosity with all the other perfections in our mind and embodied, then we're really reaching the far side of that generosity. We're perfecting our generosity, so to speak. And so even though we might engage in these different things like generosity, discipline, and patience and so forth in our daily routine, if we're not really taking them onto the path of the Dharma, they're just, relative, good actions. But the perfections, the power to chimpa, the paramitas, are a little deeper.
단 니마 가서 지비나 다 제타 퍼르드 침바 세야들라 다 초그슬라 고 장가데 네바레스 장가데 대양 다 가서 이와노 치비나 되네 지 온토게 사당 미 공방 토비알라 되네 퍼르드 침바 솜당 된다 녜레 지 타르와 담지 침비 공방 토버 치와라 되네 솜 되네 샤기요레스
Yenle.
Ngonto tong yelek sakoge.
Ngontu.
Ngonto sena?
Re. Here is solitary.
Ngonto sen terwa. Ngonto tang yelek labna, ngonto labna, tanga zoji. Ngonto sena dowa rek tok nangla. Sun to shore, ben la tang mu tobya la.
Pao chuchen.
Tela, ngonto rwa. Yelek sena, tarwa tamjin chimbo kompon. Inta, paror te chimba de tang dangna, tang chog des, ngeba des. 이나 다 딜라양 예와치나 다 가르치는 지요레스 가르치데 유 가르치고래 바로 치마도 냠내치나 가르치고라나 근데 바로 더 치마 솜티 방보 솜티게 근데 원투 컴포토 그레스 타마 솜티게 다 담이심에 컴포토 그레스
Jimpa, Soltram, Jupa, or Zupa.
So
So then, when we talk about the 6 perfections, the 6 paramitas, there are 6. And so as a complete set, this has 6. However, we can look at it from a couple different perspectives. On one hand, it is taught that when we engage in these 6 perfections, we attain the higher realms, the human, the demigod, and the god realms. But in particular, it is taught that when we engage in the first of the 3 perfections, which are generosity, discipline, and patience, this leads to rebirth in the higher realms. And then the last of the 3 perfections, and those are diligence, concentration, and wisdom. When we engage in those, then this leads to the omniscient state of Buddhahood.
The reason 가르치는 차그래 있으나 근데 다가 조직에 배나 원투 주는 배나 무크나라 위비나 양테네 지 김바 땅와 탈라테네 테네 지 루양 야고 요와 테네 롱초양 야고 요와 테네지 용그레스 아 테네 다 조티리다 마셔데 가르스나 조 롱초인 바래 롱초데 롱초 기치도 테네 다 대가 나지게 직다 단다 테네 니바데 가르스나 지 가르세고레 루 벤나 수템로 송베이나 테네 루텔레야 속상와 나자미와 텐데 용구요레스 테 대가 나기 단 잠블링 디나나 무나나 디위나 테네 소바고고다 소바 요위나 테네 지콜 코만두에 요마다지 디스 툼보 용거와 어떻게 기치돌라 테네 다 가르스나 온토라 솜요레스.
So, if we break down then the actions of the first 3 paramitas and their results, and how those relate to the experiences of the higher realms, then first, when we engage in the actions related to generosity, and when we are very generous and so forth, this has the result where through our generosity we come to experience wealth and prosperity. And if we are a very generous person, then in this lifetime and in the future, this can lead to this karmic result of wealth and prosperity. And so then, second, when we engage in discipline, particularly, for example, when we engage in discipline related to our body, then this creates the circumstances by which we have a fine form, and it can alleviate freedom from illnesses and so forth.
다 속 상보라도 직텐디케 가르세고지다 그 남반제오도 텐데 인사 말에 가르세고 퀄리티 속 상보지 그 수템이 요위나 테네 디케 메탈라지 베네무 통베나야 고지 메트 이도 용 라와 대나에 게지 지금 통한 대가랑라 테네 배 가르세고래 무기직 나온 로야라고지 텐디여서리 스타팅인데 고지 다들지 담고 그래
Chirtanki zipo the chipo.
인사 말해서
So when we talk about having uh, a fine form as a result of the activity of being disciplined, this isn't really directly related at all to what in our modern world people consider to be attractive. Um, our modern world has certain connotations and ideas about attraction and that type of thing that really might not
Also,
have.
that's not real, right? I think. It really is, so we think, oh, yes, you thinking, oh, very beautiful, but how last long, and you really need that, so how is individual, what is benefit? So you exactly, see as this very beautiful person. Maybe first you thought, yeah, amazing, this beautiful, right? Okay. And then, who knows, like really is that this, we thinking sometimes, really, first thought, really beautiful, really nice. But then maybe you just look a bit close or, like you can, or reaction, or you're talking. Mind is maybe not good, maybe they have already pride or. So then just you kind of, bye-bye. So that means not real beauty, So real beauty is just how is this close, sincerely. So actually I think, I remember this, so I was young, I think. I take care of the sheep, so that time is maybe I was, I don't know, maybe 10, 12. So we take care of the sheep, So also we have a lot of, people take care of sheep, each family, like, is one mountainside, like 10 families, other side the 10 families. So they will take care. So one. So then we have young men, women, young, old, take care different, not same age. So this one old woman, so really old, and also yes, he has a lot of wrinkles, and also he has like cloth is also nice either, just. So he is really, really compassionate, extremely. So that time is actually the candies, or like some the chunk of molasses, or my area is very rare, very, very rare, They get like almost like go to the town once a year, they get something, So not like these days here. So looks like I say this not this number zero, not beauty, He is the outsidely, look. So, but he is most compassionate. So the particular younger one, he saved like some. Of course, he saved like candies, all those things, but also they are tuba packet, he carrying all the time. Also really dirty too, what looks, just. So not like here, just every day we wearing wash clothing. So that's we do, but in the Tibet not. So not really dirty, but they're dirt, they have dirt. So, but amazing, so these kind of like, everybody, every single person goes to her. He like do things, do this, that, or he gives, like, Every time, whatever, some food, he not eat actually. And then this just, some actually, I think this rock sugar, right, we hear. So just he lick up pieces, give each one. So, like I was there, like sort of like he's very far away, like a distance. So I really happy. Oh, okay, I really exciting. Go to her. So that I think really beauty,
Inner beauty.
Yeah, inner beauty, yeah. So real beauty. So this is not only me. They called actually this actually her name is Jibu. Jibu means I think like joyful or something. Her name is I think right. So that is actually that sutem seya jiorwa. Sutem seya di koji sutem zidu sutem ketalado sutem dembatila mati yakbo yores betam sok sambores betam metala wu rawoji yores wu ro wu ta energy rawoji wu sit wu zidu light rawoji marwa okay energy wu rawoji yorta oda tekarsna benenge thandala imba po jibu se ya ta wu rawoji yorta ko ko matsama la pe thomba te kala samba lo rawoji kita ngaso yungruwa bena magic thona tene samba jibu yore ina the depending ngone thana magic sincerely yona this muti thoma te kana ko sun thome this to wondo yungruwa ina individual ko ta pa kontra sa de ngero jina me himba ti ka kontra sa mi ina yang ko sorbaji lemgrwa ko sense ndo yungruwa ko so bena magic kontra ta pa sa de ngina ina ngek tugrwa ina ngala da ko kontra sa yo mare khana law yo mare ina yang ko kontra ta pa sa de jim sen del ten ngara le feel ji your feeling sorbaji ko tis ji made ba do distance do ji automatically angurwa ina parjo met sincerely with love or compassion tini yongyeje ina ta soksang de sutim dem ba do da ngone tini je ko tsaba do ji yu ba de na tene nga so ji pe khaduina ji ngo ma hyen khan do ina this close do ji automatically chana go
So, again, when somebody is disciplined, then the result in this context is that they have a desirable form. But it's not just a worldly desirable form, but it is a deeper level of attraction, a deeper level of appreciation. And so people like this have an energy, an aura of kind of an attractive, magnetizing aura. And some people like this, you can experience this when you go around certain people. They just feel magnetic, and you feel this kind of pleasantness around them. And so this is, you just feel good around certain people. On the other hand, some people, you look at them, and on the outside, there's nothing really wrong with them. You're not mad at them. They're not mad at you or anything. But sometimes, like an angry person that you've never met, when you just see them, you can feel a little, off. You're like, oh, there's something kind of weird. And you feel it. It's like a visceral sensation sometimes. And it's good not to get overly caught up in that. But this is a result of how, we can feel, even though, technically we're not, we don't know what they're thinking or how this person is. When somebody has love and compassion within them, even if we haven't met them, then when we meet them, we just naturally feel relaxed and at ease, and we experience that side of them.
Oda tindu ta tila karsena somde ta ngondore tindi jege pena jimba ya tene chutem ya tene soba gombi na tene ji pena jewa chema yimbi na ya tene ji mug ta laye koma to gre zon da ji 배나 톤로라 소비기 때문에 제발랭가 말이스.
So, in this way, through the first of the three paramitas, through generosity, discipline, and patience, then these lead to the experiences of the higher realms. When we engage in these authentically, then we are born in the human realm with good conditions, also the divine God realms, and so forth. And if we engage in these authentically, then we won't be born in the lower realms, such as the animal realms, and so forth.
다 ngodola tele 다 ngazu yonten perbi chi dola zondu zonle 다 제가 전 직템비 로종 치비나 zondu요나 그 요네 콩도 페게로와 대가 나 이게 다 ngazu 냠len 치비네 칼라양 고 테네 zondu요나 테네 다 yonten디야 펜도 그레스 테네 다 텔라 zondu레스 테네 다 ngazu 대송데 희네 희네 곰비나 레다 삼타요나 테네 희네 투 그래 송래 희네 다 희네 대양 테네 희네 다 ngazu 다 지지 롱데사레 오다 희네 곰비나 테네 오삼네 곰비나 테네 희네 투 그래 다 양나 희네 기치도라 테네 삼네 곰고요레스 테레 다디 희네 데 토비나 테네 다 히랍 기체시나 다 히랍 기체시나 테네 다 랑동 당미도 히랍 세다 랑동 투브로와 오다 디좀텔라 테네 녜렉 개코다 제비 지 산지 고모토비아 유치그레 좀데.
So then, going beyond the first three of the paramitas into the second three paramitas, then we have first, there is diligence, or we could also say perseverance. And so when we are diligent and we persevere, then even on a worldly level, then our jobs, our careers, our goals are realized, and we have success when we are diligent. And in particular, when we are practicing and studying the Dharma, then this causes our enlightened qualities to grow and increase. And so that's through diligence. And then the fifth of the paramitas is concentration. And so when we engage in activities with concentration, when we practice with concentration, then this leads to calm abiding, the realization of calm abiding, or shamatha. And really, calm abiding, whether or not we realize it or not, is due to our level of concentration. With concentration, we can realize calm abiding. And so then, with calm abiding, bringing our mind to a state of rest, then we can cultivate shara, prajna, or wisdom or knowledge, we could also say. And so with the cultivation of wisdom, the sixth paramita, then we come to realize vipassana, or we could say special insight. And this special insight is the realization of selflessness. And when we realize selflessness, then we gain the realization of Buddhahood.
다 딘데 다 데 양한다 8월때 침바 좋을때라 양한테네 다창 네판로 오지레스 대가 나기기 8월때 침바 좋을때 고렘이 양한테네 네판로 오지레스 배나 당볼라 양그 짐바테네 수템 테네 소바선데 라 소베테네 그 고렘이 양 네판로 오지레스 다 당본다고 있나 양지 어텔라
The Rinpoche Tokyo.
공렘을 와다 공렘 가서 냠내 지나 공렘 니파리스 당보배나 짐바 당보레 마도 히랍 당보 마리스 와 텐도 공렘 니파리스
고렘 메파.
공렘 니파 와
Nyepa.
니파야 장 니파
Reidere.
and 공렘 니파
So Nyepa,
yeah nipa means the
certain, definite,
definition of it
definitive.
yeah
So Gorem Nyepa.
고랑 예파리스, 장강 예파리스.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about the 6 paramitas, there is also a definitive number, and the number is 6. And there is also a definitive order. Start with generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom.
드니 대가 나기게 딱고 잭리 직행 요레스. 잭리 직행 요나 베네 짐반라오지 야보지 따나 드니 디기 주텔레 때네 고 짐베케 소나텔레 때네 드니 야 수점중 야라 드니 편도 요레스. 드니 야 수점 야보지 송톱나 인다 고 직된다 데고 삼사 인터디펜던트 요레디 이나 양 고른바지디 양 수템텔라 야보 송나 되네 고 존주 뭐도 소바 곰토 그레스 소바 곰바텔라 되네 존주 잠토 그레스 존주 잠바텔라 되네 띵인 지 곰토 그레스 띵인 지 곰비나 되네 히랍제 그레스.
So, these 6 paramitas are also interdependent upon each other. We can realize them through the basis of cultivating one upon the other. So, for example, when we engage in generosity and we are thoroughly engaged in this type of activity, this can support our practice of having discipline. And when we have discipline and we engage in discipline well, then this supports our practice of patience. And when we cultivate patience well, then this supports our understanding of diligence and perseverance. And when we are diligent and persevere, then this supports our realization of meditative absorption or concentration. And through meditative absorption, then we can come to realize wisdom.
어다 디인데 대가 나기다 배낭가서다 테리 당이 공시와 나기리 배낭 균생 카리슬라비나 되네 배낭가서지 짐바지 땅위나 되네 지 루텔고 가서 짐바 땅위 김데울라 땅가서 고마지와 고마라양 고 짐바 땅 유지레 짐바 땅위 줌센라 단다양 고 사야메와 통야메와 되네 요마와 롱주 용구도와 롱주 용그레 송레 되네 대야 내감 다통이라와 다 용그레스 되네 다 추템 곰나 대송레 시바 토버치 송레
Sober top.
시바
So,
hold on
oh, so,
yeah
silver.
yeah
Uh-huh.
right
Silver. Uh-huh.
yes
Uh-huh.
okay see there was the generosity
Uh-huh. So first, we can see how these 6 perfections occur in our experience of reality. We can see the fruition and the how these manifest. For example, our experience of having food and drink and provisions to engage in our regular life, this is a result of engaging in generosity. And so the more that we engage in generosity, then we have all the different provisions that we need to, go about our daily lives. We find these are easier to experience, and we can experience provisions and wealth and prosperity all the way until enlightenment. This is the result of generosity. And then with discipline, we come to become chill.
Chill is cool.
Yeah,
Huh?
chill is cool. We get cool.
What do you think?
I think Drupon means the temperature. He means the temperature, but chill and cool is actually what we say.
It's a slang American word for
Okay.
cool off.
So why you say the cool?
Because it's not hot tempered, it's just somebody's just
It's chill, relaxed,
like cool.
chill out. Like
Calm.
I, huh?
Like John, you know, he's just very chill.
Yeah.
Right? When you
So this actually they also individual, the feeling. So like for example, we said this, the samsara is very hot. Okay. So the difficulty is this uncomfortable heart. Okay. So if you're really hot weather, like for example, just weather, really hot. So like all the life is many things going on very hot, kind of uncomfortable, So like for example, weather is very hot, and then maybe you sit under the tree in Haiti. How you feeling? Chill, right? Okay.
Relaxed.
Yeah, relax. So this kind of different. You can working at the hot weather, or maybe you sit in hot weather. It's uncomfortable, right? Just feeling is hot and inside, or you're thirsty, or like sort of like here, same thing. Something difficult, right? So some reason I don't know, depending on mind, but so similar like weather, So also just like weather, so just hard. So
Yana, soothing, Injigela, soothe,
okay.
soothing lapkiore, silbu.
Okay. Oh, silbo, yeah, okay, soothing. So this then the cool down. So also this kind of like this really one thing is very small, but sometimes Buddha. I think you guys there are movies and also this Buddha love stories. So Buddha was princess, right? King, prince. Sorry. And one hand is here everything, okay. But one hand is there's many things going on, so he don't want those things, like really difficult. So then we ran away from the kingdom, and then he's sitting under the tree. So then later on, the mom find, what are you doing? Just why you not stay in the palace? Just empty and under the tree. What are you doing? Like. So then he said, Mom, you don't know. That's the best place. So this kind of like, so this he got there, this also energy and the cool or like way from the hot heat thing of the palace. Tine tako karsina tsutim siyade. Tanga tsutim yuna, tine ko luitel tis chik. Rangi chik ko confident doji, klolu doji, yungu yores.
So, in this way, when we have discipline, then naturally our bodies, physically, we experience this confident relaxation.
Yeah, relaxation, the inner strength, so like kind of naturally, So somebody say, oh, you look relaxed, you're good, not like that, So this not decision, anything outside, but you individually feels whatever cool. What's that you said?
Chill.
Just chill.
Alright. Tindi ta yang tindi re da what that or not finish, sorry. What is that? Sutem ro siwa to grace. Tine that similarly karsena soba yuna tine choba higre ezon choba hibar jibel soba gomgres. Choba ro choba.
Ga true. Ga true.
No konto.
Oh.
Anger or
Uh-huh.
the hibar jibala. That's ya short sorry soba yuna the hito grace.
Oh, shitukure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So then, in the same way, when we have patience, then the highest form of patience manifests in a way where even though ourselves or others are angry, through having the highest level of patience, then it can pacify that anger and hatred.
What I think then short jurbas on short jurbas that Zundu yuna tine that short jurbalamnari kanda they put in the right path. That took place.
So then supreme diligence manifests as ourselves arriving on the right path.
Tateri ngato tinginzi sunu ta tinginzi jetang ngato tani konfiwa na yere ngato majority kharchi yore lavina chi pena ngato devando yore tina ya devando ya chi yu jigla chigi yore taya jigdang yena yang tan jungsa di rang sem na cha di yorwa ti indu tene chik sem na ku ya la khari ku gre rawa sem na ku ya bring into the inside the su chigre sena something ti ke ta sem na chigre te ma to ta chira chilo sam ma ta na sam ta dina le la yo mara in the something gomne ta je ta thang bo themba ni ya hine chin tine ya hine denjen teme chin ko ta hine de ma hin do ya hido 어, 텐디진 조치 때네 손데 다 샘네고래. 샘네 토그로. 샘네 토비키 좀 센들 때네 다 못한다.
So then, next there is meditative absorption or concentration. And so for most people, the majority of people, people seek happiness outside of themselves. However, ultimate happiness is found from within. And so what is the mechanism that allows us to focus within? What allows us to calm and bring our minds inwardly? That is having mindfulness of concentration. When we recollect concentration, then we can bring our minds inside. We can find calmness, and we can come to a state of mental rest. And so that mechanism of bringing our minds within comes about through concentration.
다 통담배 또 버치 발라. 되네. 히랍요나. 되네. 통담배 또 그래서.
So then what allows us to gain the ultimate attainment, that is wisdom. And so with wisdom, then we can gain the ultimate realization.
다 뒤에 야 대가나 야 짐바당 수템당 그런 상마카카카레나 된데 말이스. 이네 고조 체외 왕의 짐바 수템지 샤 요레 마도 베게 그 짐바 지보라서 뭐 땅비나디야 바로 진로 상거 요레스.
So furthermore, we might think, okay, our generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, and so forth, are these all specific activities that are 100% different than each other? And no, that is not the case. The teachings and instructions are given to kind of emphasize, genre of activity, a generous type of activity, disciplined type of activity, and so forth. However, when we fully engage in virtuous generosity in the context of this paramita, then all aspects of all the 6 paramitas are included in generosity, for example.
뭐다 뒤인도 다 배나시아시나 뒤니 창비나 다 장가로 지나 되네 톡톡 지나 되네 두둑 숨소독 36로 창로로 하고다 되네 요레스.
So, in this way, if we really expand upon each one of these 6 paramitas, each of the paramitas has 6 elements. So, like generosity has 6 elements related to generosity, discipline, patience, and so forth. And so, in this way, one could look at the 6 paramitas as having 36 individual elements. So there's 6 aspects to each of the 6 paramitas.
다 뒤에 다 뒤가 저 룹럽로 지 그러와 코런스 지 스트럭처로 지 차디거리스 이나다 딜링 어서 디테일 되네 양초양 짐발라 디테일 요레스 되게 단다 잠데 향이스.
So this is kind of a rough, kind of more expansive overview of all the 6 paramitas, and then later we can go into more detail about, for instance, the different aspects of generosity and so forth.
Okay, so we, I think we stop here. But if you have questions, so maybe keep the afternoon or so. Or if you have questions right now, that's okay. If you do some questions.
Okay. So, open your prayer book
Maybe
to page.
one question, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Just yank it out of here. Press that button until it turns green.
So you explained the 4 ones: patience, diligence, the progression, right? Patience, diligence, generosity, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom. So my assumption is that ethical discipline, Shila, and joyful effort should be embedded in all the path and developing this, right?
Yes. In the Quran, so that more to I was must in the check thing or this more.
그래들 pena de Paulo Tchempa druk chasamwala sotram gogi yore.
리탄달라 임바 참말라 수템 주고 말이스. 파로도 침바 찍 지발라 이나베나 짐비 파로도 침바로 찍 섬노 땅미나. 제탄 짐바리스다 뭐 보탕야로 와 보탕 요래 로말로 과 체기 요래다 체기로 와. 이나 틴디 지와데다 짐비 파로도 짐만 짐바리 이나 쪼 짐바로 와. 이나 양 티나라 찍 디퍼 웨타위나 되는 텔코 참아 6창 요래스. 제가 너희야 또다 틴리스타 틴라 보세요.
So, I think, yes, ultimately, each of the 6 paramitas includes the practice of all of the paramitas together. However, if we look at generosity, for example, the action of generosity generally looks like we are giving, somebody, some, material possession or, some financial support or, some help or that type of thing. And so that's what generosity looks like. However, together with that generosity, there are elements of discipline, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom. And so each one of the 6 perfections, when we fully engage in it authentically, then it includes elements of all the other perfections. So that would include discipline, like you mentioned. Is that, yeah?
Yeah. I was just like making a diagram on the steps, and then I put this, and then I put this, like, as we progress, we still need to be joyful and ethical in every step of the way. That's what I was trying to get to. It's not like we're gonna get there sometime. It's like we gotta try a little by little by little, right?
And also we will the teacher details. So that's just kind of ideas, 6 parameters, but then specific generosity and so on. So we can details each one. So we try to. Okay, so dedication.
Okay, so page 24 in your prayer book for this short dedication. By the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Drupon Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Okay, thank you.